Welcome. It's March 2025 and Power BI just released a big update. I'm going to cover 14 specific updates, including actually nine demos of what's included in this release. This is the best place for you to get a concise update in one spot of everything that came out. We're going to go through all of these things right here. So let's dive into Power BI right now. Let's get into it. Let's go. All right, here we are in Power BI Desktop. Again, we're going to go through all of these updates. In the description of this video is a link. You can download this exact file and follow along with the labs. You can also reference articles from Microsoft I've placed in there. Overall, we're going to cover all the reporting updates, the Copilot and AI updates, and specific modeling updates. So let's dive into it. The way that this is organized, there's going to be a tab at the bottom for all the things we're going to go through. And some will include demos. We'll actually show you what's going on, and others will just talk about the specific update. But you're going to get everything you need to know pertaining to March from this video. So let's dive into it. Startup performance. This was one of the first things they called out. So it's pretty straightforward. It used to take 8 seconds to load it. Now it takes 4. It used to take 17. Now it's 13.8. Basically, it just starts up faster. So that's cool. And the Power BI Desktop 64-bit version is what's going to be required going forward. The 32-bit will no longer be available. Put that in your brains. Moving on. Copilot and AI. Okay, so we're going to talk about a couple of updates with Copilot and AI. These will be somewhat quick. I'll also do some demos. So firstly, if you do leverage Copilot and AI within Teams, or you deploy Power BI reports within Teams, this is just saying that the existing Copilot summary in Power BI that's available if you're analyzing the data within Power BI Desktop or your service is now available in Teams as well. This same kind of panel, this same panel right here, it's in Teams. So that's what they're telling you. But let's talk about what is going on. Now, the first demo. Here's a release pertaining to DAX Query View. DAX Query View, again, over here on the left-hand side. What this is saying for this update specifically is that now you can prompt it, and we'll do a demo of it, of referencing things in folders as well as hierarchies. And previously, you could not do this. What that means is I'm going to say, I'll give a prompt, for example, to give me everything in this folder, as well as maybe a hierarchy. Say I created a hierarchy in stores for store hierarchy. A quick bonus that they call out is if you don't know, there's a super fast way to create a hierarchy. And all you'll want to do, this is a little bonus tip, is if you go to your modeling view and say you want to make a hierarchy. These are just multiple levels. You can click one, say create a hierarchy. And now after you've done it, anything in your model ever you want to make a hierarchy, you don't have to go through every individual one and click it and add it, but you can just right here in this screen, add to the levels. Maybe you knew that, maybe not. Just a quick tip. But let's go to DAX Query View. So what they're saying is now using Copilot, we can reference folders and store hierarchies. So for example, what they've given in the past, if I just do this, this was a prompt that they put in the actual example. I'll talk through what this is doing. Say we have a new one. I have Copilot set up. Again, if you don't have Copilot set up, I have a video that tells you how to do that. Check it out. But now I prompt Copilot. I'm going to ask it a question. I'm going to say, show me sales calcs, which is basically saying this folder by store hierarchy. And store hierarchy is another hierarchy I've created a while ago. It's under my picture here, so we can't quite see it. Down there, store hierarchy, great. So when you run this, it's working on it, but I'm referencing these two things. And again, previously, it wouldn't be able to tell from the hierarchy or from the sales calcs. So as this is processing, it's now done it. So I'll say keep query. And if I run it, it's now basically returned the sales calcs and returned it within the store level just by me referencing the calc. So that's what it's saying. Demo there complete. So now we're going to keep going. It's going to get better with the reporting updates for sure, but we have to cover these things. This is more as another update pertaining to how the engine works with the large language model, and it's given examples. Basically, if you're over here in Copilot and you're referencing stuff and you're saying, tell me about my data, and you can type in whatever you do. I have videos about that as well. It just says previously it couldn't understand that chai was a synonym for tea. Now it can. Clarification on basically how it interprets our language. It has improved. So just know that that's getting better. But now let's talk about this calculation support. So things have improved. I'm going to take my picture and move it to the left-hand side just so I can start talking here. So ad hoc calculation support for data questions. So what this is saying, and I'll do a demo so you can see. Within Power BI Desktop, again, I have it set up for Copilot. Previously, it wouldn't be able to respond if it had to calculate something new like profit. But now it can. So what we're going to do is we're going to test this. And for example, I'm going to say, what was the month-over-month growth for net sales? Question mark. Hit enter. Let's see if this works live on the fly. But what it's essentially saying it's going to do now is previously it couldn't interpret and calculate these new things. It would say, I need you to have the DAX already in the model. But now it's working. It's doing its thing. And it's done it. So it's done month over month for net sales. We can see what each of those are. It's actually created the calculations. These calculations are based on the provided net sales data. So let's do this. What is the month over month growth for net sales? Let's actually say, what is, we can hit 2. And there you go. So then you can put it in there and you can start kind of building things out and seeing how that works. But essentially, that's what this is saying. We're getting ahead of ourselves as well. Let me go back to the bottom right-hand corner. So now data annotation. So that's what it's doing. And then essentially once you're in there, you can expand the answer if you want to and look deeper into it. Again, it's Copilot stuff. It's just saying it will now create calculations for you. How about annotations? So this is going to be another reporting improvement where I'll hide Copilot for now. So we're in here, and what this is saying is that you can now annotate things within PowerPoint, and I'll show a demo of this too. So, for example, if the process for this, if you don't know, is if you publish your report to the service, then you can within PowerPoint click a Power BI icon and look at the data, and now we can annotate it. I'm going to show you what that looks like. So say I publish this report, I'm going to show you got you as well that they do tell you, but you need to know. So now we're in PowerPoint, and all you need to do is when you make a new slide, there's this Power BI icon. You click it, it's going to ask for the URL. If you give the URL to the report page, it's going to bring in the report, just like we were looking at here. That's what that report page was. However, you cannot annotate the page. So what you have to do is when you paste the link into this location, paste it for just the visual. And you can do that by clicking the 3 dots and getting the link. Pretty straightforward. But now, once it's in here, you can right click, annotate, and notes. So that is what it's telling us we can do now, which is good. So you can have more functionality for those who are embedding reports into Power BI, PowerPoint. So now we're back, and this is going to be beneficial for Tyndall. Again, the goal is I'm giving you the key updates from this release so you can just consume what's in it. Now, the next one is going to be copy object name. This is important. If you check out my video on source control and Tyndall, there's a whole language. So what this is essentially saying on the left-hand side is that, again, there's a 40-minute video about how to set this up I've created. But on the right-hand side of this visual, it's showing what the Tyndall structure looks like. And it has a lot of codes. What that means is if you're source controlling something, it might have an object name, and we have no idea what that object is. It can be very challenging, especially for visuals, to know what this is. So now if you go to File, Options, Settings, Report Settings, boom, click Copy Report Object Names. Now what you can do is if you click an object, demo, I'm going to copy the object name, which used to not be there. I can paste this here. And now if I say this object here, copy object name, paste this here. Now what this just did, these are the codes that would be behind the scene for the object name in the Tyndall. So if you're trying to search for something or find it, you have that. Previously you didn't. There's another update. Visual calculation highlights. I'm going to show you a demo of this too, what this is saying. So and we'll do it right here. What it's doing essentially, it's going to highlight the parts of the visual calculation that work. That's what this is telling you. Again, I have a whole video on visual calculations, another like 40-minute video or so going into the details of it, but let's just do a demo. So here we'll go home, we'll do new visual calculation, say we'll do running sum. And in this case, what the highlighting is referring to is, I'm going to say over here, net sales, and it just turned blue. And maybe I'm going to do net sales, running net sales by quarter. That just turned red. So that is what the update's saying. It's just giving you that insight. If I hit enter, it's now just quickly done the running sum, 27, 74, 96 to the total, and back to report, then we're there. But the highlighting is what it was specifically calling out. Reference lines. We're going to have a demo right now for this. This is cool for putting in averages, putting in min maxes, putting in any kind of reference line before. It used to just be on top and it would cover everything up and you didn't have much control over it. But now you can add shade areas, you can position it behind, as well as put vertical reference lines as well. So here's just some examples. We'll do it real quick. Say you have a scatter plot. Again, this applies to many different visuals, so I'm just picking one for this example. But now when you go to add a reference line, say I'll add one, I'll choose a type, I'll choose, let's say average, and average net sales. There you go. Boom, it just added it there. Of course, you can change characteristics about the line, but let's say we want to put this now behind, not in front. Maybe you can tell even more if we do black. You can see it kind of goes behind. This will be more obvious, but shade area, turn that on. Maybe I want it to be a little bit more transparent. There you go. And now you're coloring stuff in. Say you also want to add another line. Let's say add another line, and we're going to go to choose type. Let's go to median just for fun, and we'll do the other axis. And we'll set that up and position, behind it as well. There you go. We'll make this like this. So you can control all of these things now. And what this is telling you again is the median value. Oh, the labels, of course, are very important. You can add those, but tweak it. But now you can see that kind of it's more prominent if, say, we're looking at a clustered column chart maybe. And if I add a line, let's say we'll do the average line. Well, again, this is where I'll do the shade area on, and we'll just make it thick. We'll make it totally bold, and we'll make the color for this, say, orange. And we'll make this orange, just for the sake of demo purposes. And now it's in front, so we cannot, again, control it as much. But let's put this behind. Now we can see anything that surpasses this has eclipsed the position of the median value or whatever you set up your reference line to. So it's cool. That's the goal. We want you to learn more. Bingo. Let's keep moving forward. Cards, small multiple enhancements. I'm going to demo this as well. There's essentially 4. We're going to have a new card. You can do table style or card style. You can position it to the right, top, left, bottom. You can rotate it, and then you can do conditional formatting to set the colors of it. So for the demo, let's look at this. We're going to go through these things so you can see. Again, the goal is to equip you. You can see what's going on with this. So say you have a KPI card, straight up normal KPI card. Well, now I'm going to add store to the category. And that just kind of blew it up. Cool. So let's make this bigger. And let's start changing some things here. So for the small multiples layout, in this case, let's change the style to card just because it's different. And you'll see it has a space here. You can have some more control over it. I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the left. I'll do 5 here. Again, if I did table style, it kind of would match that. If you do card style, some space, some things you can consider. Set it up however you want, but that's the goal. Maybe even more space. So I'll do it a little bit differently than what I did before. Make this a little wider. And again, the goal is to show you how this works. So then the next spot is for the headers. Each small multiple is currently on the left. Well, maybe I want it on the right just for the sake of it, or changing it up, or keeping it on the left, but I don't want it to say horizontal. So when we go to the small multiples header, orientation, let's say you want to rotate it 270. Boom. Now it's on the left-hand side rotated. Maybe you want to put it on the right-hand side, rotate it the other way. Great. So now you have control over that. You can move it around. It fits a little bit better. Previously, it was harder to kind of do that. Now it's definitely easier. But then finally, for the background, you can actually have conditional formatting for this. What that looks like is, say we click it, and we're going to make a rule. And we'll even say it's based on the store. Text is you can put a store value. We'll make it this color, hit OK. There you go. And so you can actually set conditional formatting up. Again, I picked another one here to do that, but those are the updates. Those are the 4 things: conditional formatting, orientation. You can move things around. Again, put it on the top, put it on the bottom, put it wherever you want. I have a whole other video that goes into details of small multiples, about a half hour. Find that video, check it out if you really want to dig into it. Style presets. This is going to be an inform information. This is if you create your own custom themes. There's now a way where you can insert a default style. Again, you'll have to configure a new JSON file that does that. And essentially, once you do it, it will give you a preset. I'm a little hesitant on this. I feel like it's going to grow over time, but it's quite a process where you have to set up a visual style for a column chart or for any chart. Once you do that, it will give you a new option where you can pick a preset. But again, you have to do that per chart, all the details per one. It just seems like it's going to be a lot. I hope in the future it's more available within the interface itself, maybe kind of how you can come up into here now and customize the current theme. But we'll see. But that's what they're doing. It's there. The goal is for you to learn. OneLake catalog, when you deploy, this is just kind of an inform as well, but when you deploy things to your Power BI service, on the left-hand side, there's a new icon. Not a new icon, it's been there, but it's OneLake. And it's just restating the insights category for businesses or for our users, so we can see everything that you have access to, that you can view, dashboards, apps, etc. Again, just click the OneLake catalog in Power BI service. Model analyzers. So I originally had a demo for this, but I just didn't like it. It didn't come out very well. What I mean by that is it ran for like over an hour and I canceled it. But what this is doing is, if you deploy something into Power BI service and you go to the model, then now there are these best practice analyzers, a memory analyzer. It's essentially a notebook, and like a Jupyter notebook, where it's a preloaded set of configurations that will execute against your model to see if it's in best practices. It's new. I did it and it didn't seem to be working. So if you get luck with that and it works, let me know. But they have a memory analyzer and a best practices analyzer. I did the best practices analyzer. It just ran for too long. I did it on this test model that I have here with just this Microsoft data. But if you like it, let me know. Table improvements. This will be the final kind of good update, where historically copying data from tables was a pain, but now it's much easier. What that means is, if you go into any table on the left-hand side, you couldn't just easily copy the whole table. Now, if you just click in it, you can go copy table, and no matter what it is, say I go into Excel, I can paste that in there. You have the whole table. It's great. It's such a simple thing that was missing, and it's great that it's there now. So all of these are the updates. These are the clutch updates from this release. You should be fully up to speed now. Again, we've gone through all of these. There's other items as well. Feel free to dig into it, but it's more of the service, the modeling, editing capabilities. If you publish in the Power BI service, I like to focus on the reporting and the Power BI desktop side of the house. But again, check this out. Hope you enjoy, and now you're up to speed. Take care.